How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There's a big shakeup coming. We have a massive buy coming in the next week for Bitcoin. We know it's going to happen. We also just had some pretty large outflows from most of the ETFs. And we have some other Bitcoin news as well. If you don't mind, hit subscribe underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. There's also a link to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency. You can trade Bitcoin using leverage. There's also a little bit of time left on this Book of Meme airdrop where you can get up to $5,000 just based on your trading volume. Even if you trade and you buy and sell and you trade for a net zero, you still get some of these tokens. Even if you trade down a little bit, you still get these tokens, right? So definitely check that link out underneath the video. The amount that you get is depending on your volume. There's 3 days left in this. Now they're going to do more airdrops from what I've heard in the future. So yeah, maybe you want to set up an account. Now, June 13 ETF update. ETF sold 3,334 Bitcoin or 226 million. Keep in mind, there is a big buyer of Bitcoin. We know that they're going to be buying, which is kind of interesting, over the weekend or Monday. But look at this. BlackRock is the only ETF with inflows, 273 or 18.3 million. Fidelity, though, had an outflow of 106 million. Holy cow. I believe that's the second largest outflow that they've had. GBTC had an outflow of 61.5, which is worse than typical even for them. And ARK Invest is at negative 53 million. Keep in mind, ETFs still hold 878,000 Bitcoin, and they are net buyers, but certain days they do sell. So they're definitely one of the reasons that we've moved down over the last week or so. Keep in mind, we're still in this range. We're still sitting around 67,000. We're watching this 50-day moving average. We'll see if we bounce off of it. Typically, that is a good sign, but we do know that Fidelity, like I said, is selling a lot, which does cause some downward pressure. 106 million, the second largest day of outflows since the launch. So some entities are selling, but take a look at this. MicroStrategy announces pricing of offering of convertible senior notes. We knew this was coming, but just look at this for a second. So they increased the size of the offering from 500 million to 700 million. This often happens. They're oversubscribed. They push up the amount that they are selling. And this is at a 2.25% convertible senior note offering or percent. So a lot of us, when we try to go get mortgages, when we try to use any kind of debt, we're talking 7 to 8.5% right now, depending on if it's your primary, what your credit score is. They're able to get these at 2.25%. Man, it's no question why they continue to buy more Bitcoin. Part of it is just they're getting very, very, very cheap debt. These are really attractive terms, and they're able to go buy a bunch of Bitcoin. So last time Michael Saylor did this, they talked about this on a Friday. So let's see. They announced the pricing of the offering of senior convertible notes. This was about 3 months ago, almost to the day. But they talked about the offering on a Friday, and then on a Monday, they talked about how they completed the offering. And that same day, they announced that they bought a bunch of Bitcoin. So they completed an offering for $603.75 million offering, or $603 million, and then they acquired a little bit more than that. Some of it was from cash flow, some cash flow that they had laying around. So in the next 3 days, I'd expect them to announce that they just bought. Let's do the math. So they're going to have about 700 million, let's call it 720 million, based on the fact that they have some cash flow price sitting around. Bitcoin's price right now is 67,100. So they're going to probably buy right around 10,700, 10,800 Bitcoin. Okay, that's a significant buyer. That is more than the ETF sold. The ETF sold about 3,334 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is happy to go buy that. He actually just said that he is going to continue buying even when Bitcoin's at 100 times what's at now at $8 million. So yeah, I mean, they'll be getting, at that point, if they're doing an $800 million offering, they'll be buying 100 Bitcoin instead of 10,000, which is kind of crazy to think about. So Saylor's about to smash buy on Bitcoin and send us back to highs. That's what Bitcoin Munger's saying. Now, of course, if there's more selling than there is buying over this time, it won't really affect the price. But yeah, this is a lot of Bitcoin. All right. Hold your share of Bitcoin. Altcoin Hero showing us the distribution. Okay, lost Bitcoin. This is estimated as well. Just keep that in mind. 17.6% lost Bitcoin. Now, based on a 21 million supply, that would be, let me see, about what? 3.69 million Bitcoin lost. Honestly, I think that's a little bit low, but let's continue with it. So almost 4 million Bitcoin lost. We have 3.4% held by miners, 5.2% by Satoshi Wallet, 6.6% yet to be mined. That is crazy, isn't it? There's not much Bitcoin left. When you think 94% of Bitcoin has come, or 93.5% has come just in the last 15 years, and we have only 6.6% left. Like, think about what the price has done over that last 15 years. It's gone up 700,000x, right? Let's just say even from a dime to where it is now, 700,000. And that's when almost all the Bitcoin was mined. That's crazy. 2.7% held by the governments, 3.9% by Bitcoin ETFs, 3.6% by corporations, and then 57% held by individuals. What happens when, well, one, there's more and more lost Bitcoin. Okay, I think there's going to be more and more lost Bitcoin over time. That number only goes up. What happens, though, when the ETFs continue to buy and buy and buy and buy, and governments continue to buy and buy and buy, and corporations continue to buy and buy and buy? Sure, they'll take some from the yet to be mined. They'll take some from the miners, most likely. Miners will continue to sell to get more rigs. They'll probably take some from individuals, too. The reason for that is individuals only have, well, let me put it this way. Individuals often buy assets like Bitcoin to try to upgrade their lifestyle, to try to get something that they can use. And it makes sense, right? Unless you want to live a life where you just leave a legacy for your great-great-great-grandchildren or something. Generally, most people want to enjoy their wealth. They want to put it in a house. They want to go on trips, create memories. Corporations and ETFs don't have memories. They don't have to cash out of Bitcoin to go buy a house. No, they just continue to accumulate, continue to balance, and they continue to grow. So it will be interesting. I would not be surprised if in 10 years, individuals are less than 50%, and ETFs and corporations are closer to 6 to 10%. That's going to be interesting, but it's definitely coming. We got the list of the top 80 Bitcoin ETF holders. And it's pretty interesting. Out of this group, you know who is not included? BlackRock or Fidelity. That's interesting. So some companies like ARK Invest have multiple spots in here. ARK Investment Management LLC, and then they're further down ARK W as well. They buy in their Kinetics too, Internet Portfolio, Kinetics Paradigm Portfolio, Kinetics Market Opportunities. But there are some entities like BlackRock and Fidelity that are not even one of the top holders of the ETFs, and they have the most AUM of any corporation out there. They hold together about $17 trillion. So they could easily become one of the largest entities on this list. They could go out and buy a couple $1 billion worth of Bitcoin ETFs right now, today. They could just decide that they're going to buy it. Now, I think they're a little bit more calculated than that. I also think that since they have money coming in from these ETFs, they're already exposed without actually having to invest assets. I think they will invest assets at some point, but they're probably just moving a little bit slower. A lot of these are hedge funds, keep in mind, so they're trying to race for returns, while BlackRock and Fidelity, they want returns, but that's not always the number one thing that they're looking for compared to hedge funds, which is a cutthroat game. So it is interesting that some of the wealthiest companies out there and some of the most powerful companies haven't even allocated yet. That is bullish. That's bullish for the future. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let's just look at the overall market. Bitcoin moving up a little bit, probably with the news that Saylor upsized his offering and people just knowing that he's going to buy in the next 3 days when we haven't had a ton of volume could destroy some shorts. Who knows? Maybe they go out and just smash buy. Ethereum not moving much. BNB just up 0.5%. Solana under 150. Looking juicier. Toncoin up 1%. And it's just been really, really strong. 7% in the last 24 hours. That's what I should be looking at. I don't know why I'm looking at the 1 hour. You can see Bitcoin down just slightly since yesterday, but everything pretty much bleeding except for Toncoin, it looks like. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know, what do you think about Saylor smashing buy? Do you think he's going to come out a massive winner at the end of this bull run? I know there's a lot of FUD during the last bear market that he was going to get liquidated, which it wasn't really a problem. It wasn't even close to happening. But do you think he goes down as a massive genius? Or do you think people think that he over leverages and some kind of black swan happens? I think the former. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. There is a link again to Margex in case you want to take part of that juicy airdrop. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.